Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 10 of Empire of the Full Moon. I'm Mike Cadaver. Empire of the Full Moon is the show where I talk about anything that Charles Band has put out, whether it be films, toys, all the way from his very beginnings, all the way through Empire International Pictures and now Full Moon Features. But today, I'm actually going to be talking about kind of a new movie. Now, it's part of one of the classic series that Full Moon Features always has. I'm going to be talking about Subspecies V, Bloodrise. Now, you may be asking me, why haven't I talked about any of the classic ones? Because during that classic Paramount Pictures era of Full Moon Features, we got a bunch of awesome stuff coming from the Subspecies franchise. Well, the reason I chose this one to talk about today is because I wanted to talk about something I've mentioned in the past, but that's the Deadly 10. Now, Charles Band has he basically takes in different, what do you call those? Like promotions or something like that. Like right now, he's got a sub label called Pulp Noir, where he is creating brand new, edgier, darker type films that are going to replace, the funny ones like Evil Bong, Barbie and Kendra and all that kind of stuff. So these are darker, and we've talked about Quadrant, and we've also talked about Deathstreamer. However, this was before that. This was the Deadly 10 started in 2019, and basically he was going to be creating these 10 films. Now, a lot of these films are great, and I'll get into those in a minute, but the gimmick is that he is going to start live streaming everything from the start of the day all the way through filming, and I've talked about this, I think, when I did what was that one I did a little bit on Necropolis, because they did one of the Deadly 10 movies that they did finish with Necropolis Legions. And I think I mentioned it too, that I sat there at work and I had a window open and I kind of watched them do that all day long. Anyways, a real fun idea. And they had a bunch of great movies that that have come out of that, but there was supposed to be quite a bit more. I'm going to take a quick break right now, and I'm just going to show you the promo video that came out for the Deadly 10, and we'll come right back to talk about it.
Hi, I'm Charles Band. Here's the deal. Here's what Deadly 10 is all about. First of all, we're making 10 feature films. Full Moon has not made 10 feature films since the 90s. And these are pretty much all our signature franchises. So not only are these movies pretty iconic and part of the Full Moon thing for the last 30 odd years, what's cool about this, and this site, deadly10.com, is we will live stream every minute of everything that's important in making all 10 of these movies. When we go to set in the morning on day one of the first movie, to the moment we turn the cameras off 10 hours later, that will be live streamed. This is where you can actually tune into all these movies being made before they're even out, for the entire time we're shooting for the entire movie times 10 movies.
The Deadly 10 is an unprecedented movie-making event. This has never happened before, people.
You can see what it's like for me as a director to make a movie.
Catching all the magic, the meltdowns, the yelling, the screaming, the crying.
Amping up the sex and amping up the weirdness.
And guess what? You're going on the journey with us.
We're basically exposing all the nuts and bolts of making a full moon picture.
A little bit like a reality show, seeing us work, seeing us prepare these movies.
Put together in a way that's going to encourage audience interaction and a great deal of fun beyond just the movies themselves.
You're going to see us make mistakes.
Valentine's Day 2020. That's when all 10 movies will be available on our Amazon channel. And also available on Full Moon streaming. I think that's it. That's Deadly 10. That explains it. Enjoy it. It's free. Tell your friends. It's going to be awesome, and there will be surprises. So thank you. Ciao.
All right, so that's it. And that explains it perfectly. I'm very disappointed because coronavirus came out and they basically had to, in essence, stop all production. And so a lot of these didn't get made. And I think, well, okay, so let me go over it. The movies that were planned for this was Blade, the Iron Cross, that did get made. Bride of the Head of the Family, that did not get made. And that's probably my biggest disappointment, because if you saw my episode on Head of the Family, you know that that's one of my all-time favorite full moon features, regardless of the era. Familian Cosmic Crush, that's one, but it did get made, but I haven't seen that one because it's dirty, and I have so many like people around the house with me that I can't watch a full dirty movie and not feel like a big dork. Anyway, Halloween Night, Meet the Ouijas, Necropolis Legion, I talked about that one that was made. Shadowheart Curse did not get made. Sorority Babes in the Slimeball Bolorama 2, which did get made. Subspecies 5, which did get made, but it was made later. That was kind of one of the big ones that they were going to make, and so I think that even though it had to stop for the Deadly 10, they still went and they filmed that. And we'll be talking about that in more detail coming right up. The Grim Rapper, which would have been kind of wild, I guess, in the Hourglass. And like I said, COVID put the kibosh on all that stuff, and it's kind of a bummer. A lot of these movies were made, like I said, but only a few were made in the time that they were able to live stream stuff. And that's a real big disappointment for me. And I love Charles Band, the weird stuff that he does. Like now he's doing the Church of Chills, which we'd also talked about a little while back. And I think that's awesome. He's always got something cool going on, whether it be the toys, whatever. Do I sound like an advertisement for Full Moon Features of Charles Band? Anyways, the only reason is I love it a lot. So anyway, why don't we do this? Let's just, we're going to talk about Subspecies 5, and let's play a trailer for it right now. We'll be right back.
Out of the dark ages, a child was born. Crusaders stole the cursed child. The creature grew to manhood. He was trained in the arts of war, sworn into a secret sect.
We have come for the Bloodstone.
What is your name, Crusader? Radu.
It is here.
Ladislas is your father.
Spare my child.
Don't listen to the lies of demons.
All that is his can be yours.
She spoke the truth, Maros.
She's a vampire.
She is becoming one.
You must never leave me, Radu. Unto eternity. What's happened?
I'm defiant.
You are not our master.
You have so much to learn. Life or death. This choice is yours.
All right, everybody, you just saw the trailer for Subspecies 5 Bloodrise from 2023. Right now, IMDb has this at a 5.3. It was written and directed by Ted Nicolau, he has written and directed basically every entry of the Subspecies series. He did not write the first one. That was actually written by a guy named Dave Pabian along with Charles Band, but he still directed it. He also directed Vampire Journals and wrote that, which is an offshoot of these Subspecies movies. And actually, Bloodrise has a lot of those characters, their beginnings. So yeah, we'll get into that a little bit, which is great. And the thing is I've always wondered why Ted Nicolau, you know how Mick Garris had his whole Masters of Horror thing, and I thought it was cool. Stuart Gordon and Wes Craven, because some of those big boys of 70s, 80s, 90s horror, stuff like that, they got together and they rubbed shoulders with each other. You're a master of horror, aren't you? Wonderful. Yes, I am, and so are you. So I respect your work very well. That's funny because I respect your work very well too. Anyway, long story short, I don't know why Ted Nicolau never made one of these dinners or whatever. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't, but he is a stalwart, man. I mean, from anyways, maybe I'll do a Ted Nicolau. This is already going to be a very long episode, so we'll get into that later. Anyway, this movie starred Anders Hove as Radu Vadislas, or Andus, or however they say it. I have the Blu-ray. So I watched the behind the scenes, and they always call him Andus or something like that. So he's played Radu in every single entry in this series. Denise Duff played Helena, the vampire queen, in this. However, she played Michelle Morgan in Subspecies 2 through 4. Totally different character. They just happen to look exactly like each other, 30 years apart. Anyways, Kevin Spiritus is Prince Vadislas. Now, you'll remember in the very first Subspecies film, Angus Scrimm, with that big old white wig, played Prince Vadislas. And so this is very different because in this he plays kind of more of a Nosferatu style looking guy. And not even that, is more of a, remember on Buffy the Vampire Slayer when their faces would get all crazy when they got that vampire boner and vamped out? That's kind of what he looks like a little bit, except for he's bald, so that's where I get the Nosferatu thing from. Anyway, but he also played Mel Thompson. Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. Okay, so Kevin Spiritus, played Mel Thompson in parts 2 and 3. Kind of the handsome guy. He was also in some of the Friday the 13th. I think number 7. No, number 4. Anyways, I can't remember. But he was in a Friday the 13th. And anyway, there you go. I think it was, gosh dang, maybe I should have figured that out before. But yes, he's been in that before. Marco Filipic is Ash. And Ash is, if you'll remember, he was in part 4, played by Jonathan Morris, which is Bloodstorm. But Ash had a huge part in Vampire Journals. And so we get a little bit of behind the scene, of where he came from and all this other stuff. It starred Stasa Nikolic as Ariel, who is a brand new character, but was awesome in this. Julia Grant as Cerise, played by Pamela Gordon in parts 2 and 3, which is the old gross lady, Radu's mom. And she was, and we saw actually Radu's birth in this one, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, Olivera Perunicic, Diana the Huntress, and Stefan, played by Yakov Marinovich. Oh my gosh, I am destroying these names, but he played Stefan, and if you'll remember, Stefan was Radu's younger brother who showed up in the first one. All right, let's get into the plot. This starts long before any of the other entries took place. In fact, we see Radu's birth. Cerise is ugly, but she ain't as ugly as she is in kind of the part 2 and 3 yet. During his birth, Cerise was about to plunge a knife into him, but a holy order of warriors shows up, save him, and take him to be raised in the Knights of the Dragon, an Inquisition-type order of warriors. He's sent to Prince Vadislas. He grows up and he's sent to Prince Vadislas's castle to kill him and retrieve the legendary Bloodstone. And then he learns the truth about himself, that Prince Vadislas, a vampire, is his father, and Cerise is his mother. So they get away, Vadislas and Cerise get away, but it leaves Radu with a bunch of stuff to think about. Anyways, on their travels to go do this, they run into Helena and her son. She seems to be a woman in need of help, but it turns out she's not as simple as she's letting on. Either way, Radu and Helena have the Bloodstone, and he's determined to help Helena and Stefan survive. But because of his weak loins, he succumbs to Helen's feminine wiles and makes himself vulnerable enough to be turned. Or did she? He was, of course, already a child of Prince Vadislas and Cerise. Anyway, that question will get answered here if you watch the movie. Anyway, he takes off trying to figure out what's going on. After he suspects Helena and Ash to have passed, he seeks out new companionship. He finds Ash and Ariel, a brother and sister, who become big parts of the story. These three are attacked by another warrior named Diana, who is from the same order that Radu once belonged. That doesn't do a great job of describing exactly what happened, but it does do a good job of kind of giving you the overview of the film. Anyway, So this movie was filmed 17 days in Serbia. Unfortunately, Romania, since they started filming the Subspecies films, has gotten a lot more expensive. I guess a lot of people found out that Romania was a great place to shoot and it was cheap. So now it's not so cheap anymore. And I wonder how much of a trailblazer Charles Band was in doing that as well. Anyway, so this was done in Serbia, and it wasn't in it was done in some. There wasn't. I guess what I'm trying to say is there wasn't as many castles and ruins and stuff like that were available there, but they found a few and they used the hell out of them. I listened to the commentary by Ted Nicolau, and he would tell you, it's funny because he would tell you, oh, so here's how we did this shot, and this is just the other side of the last shot, and so they really made it work, and it looks great. Now, it's difficult for me to there's a couple of things about this movie that you just have to come to grips with. Anders Hove is 30 years older than he was when he played the first one. And this is supposed to be a prequel, right? So in this, he is an old man, like running around as an Inquisition warrior. And it's kind of silly a little bit, but I mean, we love full moon features, so why wouldn't we just let that one go, just like we let all of the other stuff go, which I'm sure you can. I just kind of got a chuckle out of that. But the thing is, even 30 years later, and not having done one since I think 94, 95, which is Bloodstorm, he still has that character down. He has a little bit different of a voice, whereas in the original ones, he's like, oh, come to me. He's more kind of at a raspy type voice. And to be honest with you, I like that one a lot better. But yeah, no, he did great stepping back into it in just being, he's the only guy that could play that now, right? I mean, it's kind of like, a character built for him, and you're not going to get anybody else to play Freddy Krueger. Well, I mean, I know they have, other than Robert Englund, and there's just certain people that are for certain roles, and I would liken it to that. Okay, so one thing that we need to talk about here too is the cinematography was epic on this one. Okay, Vlad Ilic, the cinematographer, completely elite. He did such a great job lighting the scenes, introducing a little bit of smoke here and there that, kind of made it just dripped with absolute atmosphere, just like the other ones, And the thing is this one, he did more with less than they did in the beginning of the one, because I'm sure that the budget for this one was much lower. Maybe if you do the calculations of inflation and all that stuff, than the original ones, because those original ones were done with the backing of Paramount Pictures, like I said. Anyway, it looks amazing. And it's funny because as I was listening to the commentary, Ted Nicolau was like, oh, well, we did this and we couldn't quite get that right. And we tried to do this, but it looked crappy. Like the extensions on the fingers, as an example, were really bad. And so we had to put a shadow over that here and there. I'll tell you what, though, I did not notice any of that stuff at all. This is one that I would say go check out. Do I say that it's better than the original series? I would say it fits in and is a great addition to those series. However, I cannot say that it's better. Well, maybe it's better than 4. I mean, I didn't love 4 though either, so it didn't kind of have the same look and feel as the other 3. But anyway, this is worthy of being a great addition to this series. Watch it. Listen to Ted Nicolau with the commentary, because he seems like a really fun guy. And this wasn't one of those commentaries where it's like, this is so-and-so, and he worked on this, and this before he came here, and he's really good because it wasn't like spewing IMDb facts. No, he was like giving anecdotes from the actual shoot, and he was telling us how it worked out and just some of the interesting things and some of the struggles that they had, some of the trials that they had to go through. There's also an interview on the special edition, on the special features, where they're all just at dinner there somewhere, like at Horror Hound Weekend, and Charles Band just walking around with a little microphone and letting everybody know and letting everybody talk. And I think Denise Duff had a little bit too much wine for that, but it's still real fun. I would say it's amazing. Awesome job. Ted Nicolau is a stalwart in everything he does. There's not one movie that he did that I have not really loved. I'm just saying Bloodstorm is my least favorite. It's not that I don't like it. Anyway, as far as all that's concerned, that's really all I have to say. Go check it out. Obviously, I've got the Blu-ray. It's got a ton of stuff on the back, and you're not gonna like extras, all that stuff. You're not gonna see that from this video, but go check that out. Before I go, do me a favor, and if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Tell your friends about this. Visit corpsecollective.com. I've got a lot of stuff going up over there, including a brand new web app where it's the horror movie trivia, and you just play. It's free, and go in there, and it's just really kind of supposed to be fun, and there's leaderboards, and you get timed. It's just a fun thing, something I've been working on. I finished over the Christmas vacation, and I just put out for free because I don't know. I wish somebody would do that, so I could play it, but it's second best as I'll do it anyway. Oh yeah, I'm so cool. I didn't mean to come off like a dickhead, but anyway, okay, cool. That's it. If you want to help out, I'm always looking for people to help write articles, videos, stuff like that for corpsecollective.com. But anyways, do me a favor, tell your friends, subscribe, and all that stuff, and check out the Corpse Cast podcast that I do. Anyway, I will stop right now. I'm being totally annoying, but I appreciate you guys watching. Until next time, we'll catch you guys later.